Want to become a DevOps engineer in just 60 days? Start here. In this free 60-day course, I will guide you step by step from beginner to job ready. We'll cover everything you need like Linux and networking, Git and GitHub, Docker and Kubernetes, CI/CD with Jenkins, Terraform and automation, cloud using AWS, real-world DevOps projects. So no theory overload. This course is 100% practical with real hands-on demo. So if you're serious about DevOps, subscribe now and follow this 60-day journey with me. So now let's check the curriculum of this course. So this is my GitHub repository. So if you are trying to help me, then press the start button. So let me get inside the complete 60 days DevOps course GitHub repository. So this is the course outline. So first module is DevOps and basic Linux. So in this day one, we'll understand what is DevOps and what is the CI/CD concepts. Then day two, we'll cover DevOps tools overview and real-time workflow of a project. Then day three, we'll talk about Linux file systems, commands, hands-on, user permission, groups, sudo user. Day 5, we'll discuss networking, SSH, SCP, UL, wget. And day 6, bash script. And day 7, practice a task that will create a bash script that will back up your system. And day 8, we'll understand what is Git and some GitHub basic commands. And day 9, we'll understand Git branching, merging, and others. And the next module is Docker fundamental. So Docker fundamental, day 10, we'll understand what is Docker and why we'll use it. Then day 11, Docker image, container, volumes. Day 12, we understand what is Docker file, building a custom image, Docker compose for a multiple container application, Docker networking, Docker registry hub, real-time Docker troubleshooting. And at the end of the module, we will do a mini project like a PHP Node.js application with any database like Mongo or MySQL and deploy it to a server. So like every module after complete, we will do a project. Then what we understand, that concept will be clear and why we need this module. Now the third module is CI/CD and with Jenkins. So in this module, we understand what is Jenkins and the installation process of Jenkins, like we will install Jenkins local like Minikube, and we will also understand how to install Jenkins by using Docker. So like day 18, we will understand Jenkins jobs, pipelines, plugins. Day 19, Jenkins declarative pipelines. Then day 20, how we can integrate like Jenkins webhook. Then day 21, we understand a CI/CD for a Docker project. Day 22, Jenkins with email, and we integrate Slack notification. And Slack is the most commonly using application for developers or any IT organization to communicate each other. So day 23, we will share libraries and pipeline best practice. The project will create a pipeline project, CI/CD pipeline project using Docker and Jenkins. So what we already learned, that will implement it in our next project. So like when we do any project, so what we understand, that will make us clear. So like next module is configuration management with Ansible. So day 24, why configuration management we need it and what is Ansible. Then we understand inventory, ad hoc commands and modules, Ansible playbook, hands-on, Ansible roles and variables, Ansible vault and secret management, Ansible Jenkins installation. And we'll create a project, use Ansible to install and configure Nginx app on EC2. And EC2 is like AWS virtual server. So whoever don't have any background of AWS, don't worry. We'll discuss a module regarding AWS in the next coming session. So the next project is deploy a full Kubernetes file and Ansible with the playbook. So we'll deploy a Kubernetes application by Ansible playbook. So whoever don't have knowledge of Kubernetes, don't worry. Our next module is Kubernetes. So in the next module is Kubernetes. So day 30, we will understand what is Kubernetes, and we'll understand the architecture of the Kubernetes, and we will install Minikube in our local PC. So for Minikube, we were using Kubernetes in our local PC, and we also install kubectl. Then day 32, we will understand what is pod replication and deployment, And date 33 will understand service ingress, config map and secrets. And day 34 we understand scaling, rolling update and health check. Then 35 Helm chart basic, Helm chart with a Jenkins deployment. Then 37 we will understand a professional Kubernetes cluster created by EKS. So EKS is like one body in AWS. So we can create a Kubernetes cluster in AWS by EKS, and professional Kubernetes cluster created by KOps. This is another way we can create Kubernetes cluster. This is also we are deploying in AWS, and we will create a project. So deploy app with Helm on Minikube using Jenkins pipeline. So after what we learn, we will implement those things in this project. So our next project is AWS hands-on and DevOps. So in day 39, we'll understand what is EC2, VPC and security group, and what is IAM role, policy, access key, S3 bucket, CLI, static hosting, and ECI. This is basics, launch Docker app to ECS target. Then we'll understand what is CloudWatch and monitoring. 53 ELB-SSL certificate, how we can create in freely in AWS. Then auto scaling and load balancer setup, and we'll create a project, deploy Docker apps to ECS target with ALB plus auto scaling. So now it will feel a little harder to understand what is this, but don't worry, when we complete the course we will understand everything, and all those things I will show in practical, so we will understand this is clearly. So our next is the final, not final, this is one is cloud infrastructure with Terraform. So Terraform is a module that we can create the cloud infrastructure by coding. So we understand day 47 what is the ISC or the infrastructure code, and we understand the Terraform basics. And I choose Terraform basically because by Terraform we can use any cloud infrastructure. Like if you use AWS, we can use by Terraform. If you use GCP, we can use Terraform. If we go Microsoft Azure, we also use Terraform. So Terraform is the most widely using tools for using infrastructure as a code. So that's why I choose Terraform. Then day 48 we will understand provider variables and outputs. Day 49 create AWS EC2 S3 with Terraform script. Then day 50 we will understand provisioning Jenkins with Terraform. Day 51 Terraform with Ansible integration. Day 52 remote backups, backends and state management. And day 53 we understand Terraform cloud and workspace. And after the completion of Terraform module, we will do a Terraform project. So our final module is CI/CD projects. So in this project, before we understand what is CI/CD project overview, then we'll do a simple project like a Laravel or Node.js app to Dockerize, how to Dockerize any application. This day we will understand that thing. Then day 56 we understand what is Jenkins CI and how we can build the image and how can we push the image to our Docker Hub. Day 57 we understand Terraform infrastructure setup on AWS. So in this stage day we will understand how we can create AWS infrastructure by using Terraform. Then we day 58 we will using Ansible to provisioning this app. Then day 59 Kubernetes deployment on EKS. We will see how can we deploy a Kubernetes application on EKS. Then day 60 we will understand what is monitoring, how we can use Prometheus and Grafana. And Prometheus and Grafana are the mostly widely usable free software which we can implement in our projects. So these things are help us to monitor our application or website. So this is our final capstone project. So in this project we can see a developer when doing any code and push the code to GitHub. So we already know what is Git and what is GitHub. So this code is pulled by Jenkins, and Jenkins will create a Docker image which is available in the GitHub, and create a Docker image, then push the Docker image to GitHub. So then this server will give a command by Jenkins, a Docker image will pull in this Kubernetes cluster and create a container or deployment. So then our application is running, and by the Helm we can installing Kubernetes and Grafana, and Prometheus and Grafana are monitoring the application which is running in this EKS cluster. And whatever software we want to install, like in Jenkins server or this Maven server, we will do by this Ansible. So Ansible will install or any package in our EC2 server, and this full infrastructure we will create by Terraform. So whatever we learned in our previously, all these things are implemented in this project. So after complete that project, you have a complete knowledge what is DevOps and what tools we need to use, and what we should follow to become a DevOps engineer. So I hope this video is helpful for you. So subscribe these channels, and don't forget to like this video. So in the next day I will starting to create the video of day 1. So we will see what is day 1. So in day 1 we will understand what is DevOps and CI/CD concepts. So by the time, best of luck, and don't forget to like and share the channel.